Hello guys. Before we begin tonight's story, make sure you hit subscribe to New Drama World, the home for global fans who live for the softest chemistry, the most heart-stealing drama moments, and the emotional storytelling you can't find anywhere else. If you love C-drama, K-drama, and the kind of connections that make your heart ache in the quietest ways, then trust me, this is your place. Now let's dive into the bond that fans can't stop talking about. Bai Jingting and Zhang Ruonan, the duo whose chemistry feels so natural, so alive, that people around the world are wondering if emotions leak beyond the script. From the very first moment they appeared on screen together, something impossible to describe settled in the air, like a warmth you feel before you even understand where it's coming from. Bai Jingting, with his gentle steadiness, and Zhang Ruonan, with her soft vulnerability, created a connection that didn't demand attention, it simply pulled you in. Their chemistry wasn't explosive in a dramatic, fiery way. Instead, it was subtle, intimate, the kind of emotional gravity that forms when two personalities instinctively respond to each other. What fans noticed first wasn't the dialogue, or the blocking, or even the romantic storyline. It was the way they looked at each other, calm, soft, unguarded. The kind of gaze actors can imitate but rarely sustain with that level of sincerity. Bai Jingting's eyes always seemed to soften around her, while Ruonan's smile changed almost imperceptibly whenever he entered the frame. These weren't loud reactions. They were human ones, and that's why people couldn't ignore them. Behind the scenes, their comfort level made everything even more suspicious in the sweetest way. They didn't look like two colleagues trying to find their rhythm. They looked like two people who already understood how to exist in each other's space. When they rehearsed a scene, they leaned in naturally. When they joked between takes, they laughed without filtering themselves. Their movements synced without effort, as if their energies already matched before the cameras even rolled. One moment in particular blew up across social media. During a break, Zhang Ruonan seemed confused about her mark. Bai Jingting stepped closer, gently guiding her wrist with just 2 fingers, his voice soft enough that microphones barely picked it up. It was a blink and you miss it moment, but fans caught it instantly. The tenderness, the familiarity, the way his expression shifted into something warmer than professionalism. People replayed that clip thousands of times because it felt like watching something private, a glimpse into a connection too natural to ignore. Then came the interview clips, and everything got even more chaotic for the fandom. A reporter teased them about their chemistry, and instead of dismissing the question, they both reacted in ways that felt real. Bai Jingting gave that shy, half smile he only uses when he's trying to hide genuine emotion, while Zhang Ruonan lowered her gaze, laughing softly like someone who didn't want her feelings read too easily. The clip went viral instantly, not because of what they said, but because of what they didn't say and couldn't hide. Off camera, the subtle moments kept adding up. Fans caught Bai Jingting watching Ruonan in the middle of group interviews, smiling to himself every time she spoke. They noticed how Ruonan relaxed her shoulders when he stood beside her. They noticed how he instinctively shifted to create space for her, or how she unconsciously adjusted her tone when addressing him. These weren't dramatic signals, they were quiet ones, the kind that come from comfort, trust, and maybe something deeper lingering beneath the surface. One day, a Candid backstage clip broke the internet. The cast was waiting for their cue. Most were chatting or scrolling on their phones. But Bai Jingting, his attention kept drifting toward Ruonan. When she brushed her hair behind her ear, he smiled, small, subtle, the kind of smile someone makes without thinking. Fans didn't imagine it. They felt it. Because real chemistry is hard to fake, and even harder to hide. Even the way they walked together set people's hearts on fire. Not close enough to spark scandal. Not distant enough to look formal. Just natural. Quietly close. Like two people who didn't need to perform for anyone, they simply existed in sync. As their popularity skyrocketed, questions naturally grew louder. Media outlets began poking around. Fans became more protective. And yet, Bai Jingting and Zhang Ruonan handled every moment with a kind of grace that only fueled the emotional tension even more. They didn't deny the questions. They didn't encourage them either. Instead, they navigated everything with gentle, steady smiles, the kind that made fans scream into their pillows because even their silence felt romantic. One press event, though, nearly broke the internet. A reporter asked what made their chemistry so realistically intense. Zhang Ruonan laughed shyly, brushing her hair behind her ear, saying, "We trust each other." But the real moment wasn't her answer, it was Bai Jingting looking at her like he already knew that. Like trust wasn't just part of the job, but something they carried naturally between them. The look he gave her could write its own love story. Everywhere they appeared, fans felt the same thing. This connection is different. It's gentle, deep, effortless, the kind of bond that doesn't need confirmation to feel true. A connection built in the in-between moments. The glances, the quiet laughter, the instinctive closeness. And maybe that's why this duo hits so hard emotionally. Because their story feels like a love that exists in silence. A love that breathes through subtlety. A love that lives in possibility. Fans don't ship Bai Jingting and Zhang Ruonan for drama or scandal. They ship them because their chemistry reminds us of something we often forget, that the sweetest relationships are sometimes the quietest ones. The ones built on instinct. The ones never defined, yet deeply felt. Maybe nothing is happening between them off-screen. Maybe everything is. But sometimes, the beauty of a connection isn't in confirming it, it's in feeling it. And what Bai Jingting and Zhang Ruonan made the world feel is something that will stay long after their drama has ended. Before you go, if this story touched something in your heart that nostalgic only real chemistry can create, make sure you join our family here at New Drama World. Because whatever the next chapter of their journey looks like, we'll be right here following it. Frame by frame, emotion by emotion.